Back again, and well, you probably know what's going to happen here. It's my normal 3 minutes, and I'm just peaking over at the moment 2500, but one loss, and we all know I love losing my first game, will bring me down into the depths of despair. So I'm going to try to make sure my opponent's playing very quick here to go for a, well, to try to win this first game, which is kind of key to keep my rating. Now I'm playing my normal Dutch. Of course, if you want to learn more about this opening, then that's a big mistake of my opponent. He's blundered already. If I lose this, I am a cretin. I've had this trick many times, threatening e3, threatening mate. Thank you very much. Bob's your uncle. He's not your uncle. Who the hell is he? Okay, but let's not mess this up now, because it's important to... Oh, God. Oh, God, there's the first mistake. You cretin. Okay, right. I've just blundered a pawn sillily by developing here. Maybe I could have gone knight. No, I couldn't, because he had check there. Queen e6. Okay, I'm still doing well. And it's the typical Dutch. It's giving me a good position here. But my opponent is now getting a bit of counterplay, isn't he, with the active move. And now he's forcing a rather weak pawn here. If I had a pawn on c7... I would be a lot more confident. But his pieces are very well positioned here. So actually, somehow, after his horrific blunder, he's managed to get good compensation. Right, so let's not throw this one away anymore. Okay, I'm going to put my rook on the open line. And now I have ideas knight d4 and knight in. And the other thing I'd like to do, well, let's just tuck my king away as well, so I avoid any checks on this line. And now where should I put my knight? Let's put it in here and try and finish my development. Put a bishop on this square. But he certainly has very good compensation here. This knight here is a terrific piece. So at this moment, anything goes, basically. And look at this bishop. My piece is not working. And we don't like it when our pieces do not work, coordinate well. So, right, let's try to get back into this game. Time down. Okay, and I'm going to now put this one here, hoping to get something along here. And if he takes this bishop, of course, exchanges should benefit me. Okay, now do I have a trick with a knight? I can't see it. Doubling up here makes a lot of sense. Let's go for that. Trying to get my rooks working on the open file. I have an extra rook. So let's try to make them work. My idea is just rook e8, and then there's serious pressure on the e file. Position's looking better than it was, definitely. I think my opponent's made some bad exchanges in this. So he's trying to break out with this. I'm not too worried about that. I'm just going to keep continuing with my plan. I could even go pawn takes pawn the last move. This bishop here is turning into a terrific piece. Okay, so... should we take this one, or do we have some, maybe just this? Why don't I just take this one with check, and then boom, come on. It's always a good sign when I'm going to say. I mean, if I lose this, then it's just embarrassing. I'm never going to play a game of chess again. Okay, bit of pressure added. I mean, I'm a whole rook up here. He's allowed to play on, of course. I'm not going to say it's that disrespectful, but it is a little bit disrespectful, I suppose. He obviously knows how I play, and he knows my time handling issues. Okay, now, God, what am I doing? I'm sort of allowing some chances here. I mean, come on, I can't seriously mess this one up, can I? Right, well, I'm just going to concentrate for this last bit of time, because I really want to win this first game. And of course, I didn't really want to allow this move, because now... Oh shit, does rook there win? Does it? Well, I have pawn here. And I have rook takes here as well. And I'm going to try to simplify this situation somewhat. Clearly have not played this in the best way. Okay, come on. Don't mess this up now, Simon. Let's just keep concentrating. I'm still winning. So let's not do any more mistakes. Come on. Time. Clearly winning. Still. Right, I'm certainly flattening this up like an idiot. Complete and utter bloody fool at the moment. So I'm really getting to a stage where I'm already extremely pissed off with myself. So I'm just trying to, you know, I do want to play another game of chess again. So I'm kind of like, you know, come on. Now, don't try to hustle me on the clock. There's no way you can hustle me on the clock here. Don't be an embarrassment to yourself. Don't be an embarrassment. Come on. Come on. Why? Oh, God, that's why. I mean, how difficult do I want to make my life? I mean, simply like, you know, I mean, life should not be this difficult, really, should it? Really, life should be easier than this. And he plays on all the way to checkmate. I mean, I have to say, I understand why he did play on there, because the way I played was abysmal. But that is, at the end of the day, the first win. And I'm going to keep some respect for my opponent. Like a lot of people mentioned before, I have not respected my opponents enough. I think this is more me psyching out myself, you know, and it's talking myself into a potential zone, so I'm getting into a good zone to play, rather than saying my opponent's crap. And I probably do say stuff like this, but I'm more saying it to myself. So it maybe comes across as a bit rude. So I apologise for that to my opponents. So, you know, I shouldn't be speaking that way about them. It's not nice. Okay, anyway, back to this. So sacked a pawn, and this should be pretty decent compensation. Now again, I have to say my opponent strikes me as more of a time player than you know, playing the correct moves, because the way he's playing this certainly should be good for me. Now it's just a matter of proving it. So let's open up the position. I'm thinking I am slightly better developed, and I have a check, and I have castles with a rook coming to e1. So this is what I'm going for. And the idea now is check, take here, castles get a rook to e1. So let's see if my plan is any good here. And I can even move my king here, I think. I'm not worried about not castling. Not castling is sometimes a good thing. And of course my idea here is just to keep the pressure up against my opponent's king. And again, this looks like, to me, a very decent position. Right, so I have a number of tempting moves here. Why can't I just take this? He's not even threatening to take my bishop because of the pin on the A pawn. And again, my opponent's going to try to win on time. This is like the story of my life, is it not? Okay, well, again, he's not going to take that one. I don't need to rush to take his queen. The queen is not running away anywhere. And I'm about to say shite, because guess what? I missed that one. What a bloody patzer. Okay. Okay, now that was ridiculous, wasn't it? Ridiculous. Now, I think it's all right, because I got this check. Okay, and now we just have to play with a little bit of accuracy. And I'm just going to take here, take the rook off. His king is still clearly weak, and this should be easily winning still for me. Can I finish with some tactics? Don't need to. I don't need to overcomplicate things, so why try that? Now, I don't really want to swap queens, but at the end of the day, this is going to be winning as long as I don't lose on time. My rook's dominating. It's not a queen, but it's still a fantastic position here. And let's just develop my last piece with some nasty threats. Okay, and again, time is the only thing that I could. I mean, time is always my issue, because I try to play, you know, as correct chess as I possibly can, you know. Bang. And that's what happens when you don't think like my opponent. My opponent, it seems to be just like, you know, playing against the clock. So, okay, that's a good start. It's going well. Well, we're going to try to have another piece of the pie. Another piece of the Dutch pie. The Dutch pie worked very well. Come on, 2600. I can feel my mojo rising. Riding. That's just what I need. Just what I need at this moment in time. I think that is going to be a callback. Is it not? Oh, it's my move as well. Forget about the clock. Forget about clock. It's not a clock. It's a phone. Okay, right. Come on. So let's just try to checkmate my opponent here. Seems like a decent way to play, doesn't it? And this is the typical way to try and do that. I bring my bishop to either here. Very nice pin I have. And okay, thank you very much. Again, my opponent clearly, in my eyes, not playing on position. Surely, I mean, this is not playing on position, because what's he doing here? I mean, he's just given up. He's just given up a decent pawn, and that has weakened his king. Now, I'm not even, you know, too concerned about him even taking this one, but if I go here, he naturally has this move. It's a bit annoying because he has pressure against c6. He hasn't even played that. Quite astonishing. Now, maybe I'm going to just let him come in over here and try to create some play of myself. Let's get jiggy with it. Okay, and try to come into d3, which traps his queen. That's quite a beautiful trap of the queen. Knight takes d3, and his queen is, funnily enough, trapped. Kind of ridiculous, that is, actually. And, of course, my opponent is going to try to hustle me on time. Because, well, don't ask me why. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. Am I being disrespectful again? Maybe. I hope not. I hope not. Oh, he's got a check. Well done. Well done, sir. You found a check. Okay, look, I'm just psyching myself up. No disrespect to my opponent. This is just me saying, you know, you're not good enough. You're not good enough, son. I think his queen is still trapped after rook takes. How does this help? His queen is still completely trapped here. You know, I could even move my knight, my rook now, and his queen is still trapped, surely. His queen's not going anywhere. I don't need to rush to take that. Let's get the maximum, and now I have bishop takes knight. All my pieces flooding into his position. He can't cope with the Dutch, can he? He clearly can't cope with this opening. And please, okay, I'm just going to, look, his queen is still trapped. I'm just going to take everything and then take his queen. This is like, I'm just a greedy so-and-so today. I'm gobbling up, Pac-Man style. Not, what was that? Not Gangnam style, Pac-Man style. Okay, so he has eventually given up his queen. And the only thing I have to watch out for is some back spanker. We don't want to get hit by a back spanker and this pawn. So it's kind of tricks I have to watch out for. So let's stay alert for any nasty tricks. But my three pieces around his king look pretty scary. So he's coming in here, but I should be able to mate him before he does anything nasty. So when I got bishop here, and he's going to try to go rook here and rook here. You know what? I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to stop any back. At least if he checks me on the back rank, it's not going to be mate. Safety first when you're a queen up. Okay, and he's going to come in here. So he does generally tend to make things quite difficult in crap positions. Now, what about kicking this one away now? Am I helping his rook come here and here? Maybe, but at least his bishop cannot come in. If his bishop comes in now, I can take and take here. So there's still tricks I have to be aware of. But his king, as long as I don't play like a complete wimp. Now, I have bishop here, check, calculation needed, king here. Should be winning. But do I need to take the risks again? Bishop here, check. I think. Do I have faith? Yeah, I'm going to have faith. I think. Oh, he has knight here, check at the end. Okay. Which is a mistake. My first mistake here. Okay, but I still believe his king is going to be too weak. You know, this is my idea, to have this queen h1 checkmate. And I said don't take any risks, but you've also got to have confidence in your calculation. Now, knight f6 check is the best move. But then I go queen takes, he takes here. Or if he takes here, I can play queen takes, he takes here, I have check, king here. And I've just got to do some, again, calculations. This one is the easiest way to mate him. I was looking at queen f2, but this is force mate. Because I'm either going to checkmate him on f2 or knight, or well, knight f2 or queen h2. Okay, so has my opponent done a runner now? Has he had enough? Has he had enough? Let's see. Okay, well, it's going better today. I think things are starting to, I'm starting to get the mojo back. Get your mojo rising. I think he's done a runner. He's had enough now, and I would probably do the same in most situations. He's probably sitting there like I was yesterday, swearing, saying, "That bloody Williams, how can I lose to such a patzer? How can I lose to such a pat?" He's back again. Okay, so I've got him angry now, and I'm going to try to keep it that way. So, King's Indian Defence. I'm going to play the line I recommend on Killer D4, the DVD from GingerGM, and that is with an early Gary and Harry. So, Gary goes first, charge, and, well, actually, first of all, I mean, you could push Harry straight away. And this gets very interesting now, because my opponent clearly going to try to come over here. On the other hand, you can see what I'm going to try to do to him over here. So this could be very interesting. I'm going to try to mate him here. He's going to try to mate me here. And yeah, interesting stuff. I think you should agree. Just place my king here to avoid any stuff on the c file. Now, the general brutish plan that I can play in this position is bishop h6, bishop takes g7, and then get my queen to h6. Now that he's moved his queen there, which I would consider a slight error, because, well, I could go for here. I guess he's relying on some knight a4 trick. So takes, queen takes, knight a4. And, you know, I don't need to... I could get my knight in the game first. It's a bit... I don't know. Maybe bishop h6 was the move I should have played. But at the moment, he can't move this knight because of the pin. Okay, and now... Wow, I'm going to go forwards. Forwards is the way of the walk, as Mr. Cypress Hill Band would say. The way of the walk. I don't know. Okay, h6... I guess I'm taking on f7 and I'm going to try to checkmate him. Seems like a good idea to me. Checkmate seems like fun. Let's just see if it works, shall we? Here we go. So I'm going to try to demolish his king side and hope. I've got to watch out for this knight a4, but hopefully I'm going to get there first on the king side. So, you know, whenever you're attacking, even when you're attacking, you must always consider your opponent's counter check. Now, calculations. Bishop takes here. Bishop takes queen. Bishop f6. Could be beautiful. And you know what? I love beautiful things. So I'm going to give it a go. And the idea is if queen takes queen, bishop f6. You know what they say? Put that. Okay, so he can't play it. So he's gone here. But this clearly is completely losing. I have rook check. I have queen check. Both moves devastating. But I will start with this one. This one is bound to be a forced checkmate. If he takes here, my queen comes in. Maybe king here is his best chance. And now queen h6 should polish it off. Because I've got g5 mate and g7. Gary has been a bloody hero today. Gary, praise the Gary. And now, don't we just love it when we can do something like that? Don't we love it when a plan comes together? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Can you feel that? Can you feel? Oh no, don't want any of that rubbish, do we? Can you feel the ginger vibes? Do you feel the ginger vibes? The victory dance, which I do after every game I win, because I win so rarely now. If I ever play in a tournament and I win, I'm always like, thanks, and my opponent wants to punch me in the face. So I'm rolling. So I don't actually want to stop now. We will see if we can get another game. My opponent has had enough of his 4-0, and well, I can't really blame him. 4-0 is 4-0. Yeah, I'd be. Well, you probably know what I'd be doing now. I would not be a happy bunny. And I've played my opponent before, and I think he was just having a bad day. And I'm not, and again, I'm trying to backtrack now. But my way of getting psyched out, chess is basically a blood sport. It's like boxing on the board, And if you don't get yourself psyched up, then I think you're going to play weaker. So you have to get yourself in the right frame of mood to kill. That's the way I see it. Anyway, even if you can go and have you can go and have a pint with your opponent afterwards and be good friends with him. But when you're playing, even when I'm playing great friends of mine that I've known for all my life, when we come to the board, we forget about our friendship and we want to rip each other's tongues out. Generally, I mean, sometimes not that bad. Okay, another thing I should mention, I'm doing a simultaneous display today at Hammersmith Chess Club. And I think people could come along. If you live in London, you fancy a night out, it starts at 7:30. And I'm doing 30 boards, Hammersmith Chess Club. Just search it. I don't have the link here, which is a bit silly of me. But that should be a hell of a lot of fun. And you know what? I think that's a sweet start to the day today. I'm still searching for a game at the moment, but no one wants to get jiggy with me. Da 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 da. Why am I singing? That's such a terrible song. So if no one wants to get jiggy with me, I think we'll leave it at that jiggy stage. So thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, it could actually. Shall I analyse a game? Shall I have a look at the games? Well, you know what? I mean, this game was quite cool. Let's just have a look at this. I'll explain. So I did say I was going to do this. So this is an added little thing. I'll talk you through my thinking in this game without showing you too many variations again. Now, this opening that my opponent's played is the King's Indian Defence, and you see me play this as black in some of my analysis videos. Now, the system I play is with bishop here and my other bishop here first. So it's a very simple stage opening. And the reason I love this is there's not really any theory on it except what's in the Killer D4 DVD. And of course, if you want to learn more about this, buy the blooming DVD. That will help me make more of these videos as well. So you're doing me a favour. You don't need to donate. You just need to buy a DVD. You get something back. I was designing some t-shirts earlier as well, so I'm going to be wearing one of them very soon, hopefully. So this is my first stage. And when I've got my bishops here, my next stage is to go G4. Why? It's an aggressive and constricting move. Why do I say that? Well, normally in this position, let's say I get G4 in. Obviously, it's aggressive because Harry's coming next and we're going to have the time of our lives. But also, it stops or aims to stop one of black's main breaks. What is that? Well, I go F3 because the normal square for knight in this position is F2. It controls everything from F2. Before attacking, I normally like to get all my pieces at least like swimming together in the same pool. It's a pity if that one piece is still cut out to the dry. And the idea is, well, you see he goes knight D7. Well, the main break for black in the King's Indian is F5. Now, if he plays F5 here, you can imagine him doing that. I have not committed my king. So if he plays F5, I will take with my G pawn. He will be forced back to take with his G pawn. I'm not going to show you the moves. Try to visualize it and prove the position. Prove your visualization. So imagine that. And then the G file will be open to his king. So I will castle queenside and later on get a rook here and hopefully rock and roll on the G file. So this is why I decided to castle here, really making it very unpleasant for him to play F5 because I'll go G takes and I have an open line towards his king. And now it's a bit of a slugfest on both sides. I might as well start an attack here. And here comes the attack. Normally you take with a pawn here, but I didn't see any reason not to place my knight in the centre of the board. Because his knight on A6 is not brilliant here. I thought he should go knight B4 here. I would have played knight B4 here probably without much thought, trying to open up the A file. Bishop E6 seems very slow. Let's get my king off a potential open file. Sometimes you have to do safety and attack. Safety and attack. If you combine the two at the right time, then you will stop your opponent's ideas whilst slowly, gradually improving your own. Now, my opponent took on D5. I'd take this way because this keeps my pawn. This is the normal way to recapture towards the centre. Queen b6. Now this was a critical stage. I was very tempted to play bishop h6. It may have been good, and we'll come back to that a bit later, because at the moment, again, I'm thinking, what is black's idea? Now, black's idea, I thought, is to go knight a4 and queen takes b2 at some stage. But he can't move this knight because it's pinned. So let's bring the knight in. I think this worked incredibly well. And actually, maybe we'll come back to that, but I want to show you the beautiful line I had prepared. He went for some more pieces on this side of the board. My knight came in. And now I'm threatening stuff like knight takes h7, king takes, and pawn takes g6, opening my rook up towards his king. So I'm literally trying to stop his play over here whilst throwing everything I can at his king. Now, probably at some point he should have played a move like queen b4 and tried to bail out to an ending, because it's not really working, his play at the moment. I mean, I have many attacking ideas here. Now, he went h6, and of course, you don't go backwards when you're going for the kill. The next move comes without any thought whatsoever. And now, my idea is, if king takes, I will play bishop takes h6, and he has no protection over there on his king. And I think it looks to me like my pieces are coming in on the king side a lot quicker, and he hasn't got any threats against my king at the moment. Even though he's got all his pieces over here, they're not doing a great deal. Now, the lovely line I saw was bishop h6. Clearly, I'm winning here. Queen b4. Bishop takes g7. The way he played this, it was lost. I mean, we saw how easy it was in the game. But the line was really, which found quite beautiful, I don't know if it works, was queen takes d2. Now, maybe the normal inclination would be to go rook takes here. But the move I was planning to play was bishop f6, this sexy little number. And why? I don't even take the queen back, but I threaten rook h8, kerplonk, and let's just see if my opponent can defend. Well, I don't see how he can defend here. If he takes my rook on d1, I take with my bishop. Even if he goes some tricky move with queen c2 check, I don't even have to go king takes, because then he has knight takes e4 check. You have to watch out for these ideas. Queen c2 check, I play the lovely little move, king a1. Tuck that baby away in the corner, and he still has no good checks. So I think this position will be winning, because there's no way to stop rook h8 checks. That's what I was planning. Now, the only other interesting thing in this game was this opportunity earlier, when I played in this position knight to h3. Now, the reason I didn't go bishop h6 here was I wasn't entirely sure what was happening after bishop takes, queen takes, with the big threat of pawn takes pawn and queen takes h7, and now knight to a4. Now, I thought I might be able to play rook d2 here. I've got to defend this mate first, keep my threats alive. But it seems like he's made a bit more progress here. Does he have a big move here? Worst case scenario, he might be able to defend with something like queen c7. And if pawn takes pawn, take with his f-pawn, defending the h7 square. And he's getting action on the c-file very soon. Seems to me his attack is a bit more scary than the game. So the way I played it seemed to be a lot more logical. And there you go. Let me know if you like that analysis at the end of the game there, or if you got so bored you're not listening. And if you did do that, you probably can't comment on this anyway. So I tricked you there, didn't I? Let me know anyway, and I will either do more of that analysis at the end, or I just won't bother, to be honest. So give me your thoughts on that, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'll do some more game analysis soon on some more of my games from Austria, but I feel like I'm getting back where I wanted to be, and my rating's now a little bit more juicy. 25, 29. It took a while. 2600. I feel you, baby. I feel you. I feel your vibes. I feel the good time roll. Let the good times roll. Okay, cheers. Until next time, please like, please subscribe. It helps me. It certainly does make more of these videos. Cheers.